Hey everyone, we are back with Chicago Grit Brookfield. This is the Wednesday course. Gosh, how many days? What? 3, 4, 5, day 6. So we are officially in the second half of the race series. If you know anything about previous 2 years at Brookfield, generally it's held downtown and it was a bow tie configuration. Unfortunately, that course, like Mundelein this year, is under construction. So we are across the train tracks, right on the other side. In fact, you can see corner one of the old course from start finish. But yeah, this is a brand new course. And so looking at it, it's basically a right triangle with a sort of a baby chicane at start finish. Very long front straight here, but most of the front straights after start finish. We go into this nice little hairpin. It's relatively smooth asphalt. It was pretty grippy, and then we're kind of onto this old bouncy cement road surface. So the wind, this is a bit of a cross tailwind, and then on the front straight it's a bit of a headwind, and I think that's because of the way the streets are kind of designed and the wind angle today. This was definitely a little bit faster. As you can see, we're doing 29 in the draft. Only just above 300 watts, so nothing crazy, but yeah, a bit of a tailwind here. So, but also kind of at a cross angle. So we are not even back to where start finish starts. This would be Prairie Street here. This is kind of where the little festival was. There's the team tents on the right. This was the first extraordinarily hot day of Chicago Grit 2025. We're looking at 90 plus degree temperatures. Surface temp on the asphalt's got to be 130, 140, and the humidity was up around like 90%, 85%. So it is like racing in a sauna. It is brutally hot. I generally handle the heat well, but this was a brutal day. So there's corner two, left hand 90 degree, pretty tight onto a left hand, I guess another 90 degree. Onto this nice, smooth, relatively fresh asphalt road. That's my teammate Zach in the OK kit. He's chilling. We were chatting this first lap, having a few discussions, but that is the first full lap of Brookfield, the new course. Here's a little chicane. You can kind of go super wide through it. We didn't really have any issues. Kind of along here, you could sort of ride into these parking lots, but very quickly you got to watch out for those curves. So very, very simple course, except with a somewhat technical hairpin, which you would have to brake for. The pros all had to brake for it. Anyone said you could rail it at full speed? Bullshit. You had to brake for it. So we'll skip ahead. In this course, my strategy, what was my strategy? I figured there'd be no breakaways because the headwind is too strong. So I was trying to conserve energy. And, right now my heart rate 142, that is full on zone 2 for me. My zone 2 goes up to about 151, 152, somewhere in that range. This is day 6, so starting to feel a little fatigued, but nothing crazy. I felt really good for this race. I came into this, had a good amount of caffeine, feeling pretty good. And so there we go. That's 1.5 laps in, and we are totally chilling in zone 2. All right, so we've skipped about a third into this race. Heart rate is 168, so there's been a little bit of an acceleration on the back half, but you can see the field. Someone did a big acceleration the previous lap, and now the field's tired. So we're starting to slow down a little bit. You're seeing all these people bunch up. This is a pretty good sized field. This was 50 plus, 60 plus, a lot of racers. By the way, I forgot to mention, 0 elevation change on this course, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just the headwind right now, kind of out of the front left here is what I would describe. But everyone's starting to slow down. I've raced over 70 crits, and I know something's about to happen. When you're this bunched up in the middle of the race, someone is slowing down, and this is when giant crashes happened. And obviously, hindsight's 2020. So as we come around the hairpin, we're going to see this crash, and so we're going to zoom in a little bit left. I take an outside line because I just have a bad feeling. And look at this pile up, full on yard sale. These guys are all crashing into each other. I try to cycle across it. I missed my front wheel. I should have lifted up a little there. Just missed it. Didn't have the right speed. And I'm in panic mode. I'm fully in panic mode. They said, I swear to God, that they at 8 laps left we would lose free laps. I was incorrect. It was 6 laps left. I thought they said 8. I knew there was 8 laps left, and so I didn't know if there was free laps. And so along this road, we're zooming ahead. Those guys have a full 15 seconds on me now. Giant amount. I mean, this would be an insane breakaway if you get this far. with that many people up the road. So I'm freaking out. I'm talking to this guy on my favorite blue factor. Is there free laps left? I don't really know. We're above FTP right now, doing some pretty good watts, doing 27, 28, and I'm making the decision. You see me look to the left. I'm trying to decide, do I want to cut across the course here, Prairie Street? And I decide, no, if I'm going to take my free lap, I'm going to go all the way down. And so at some point here, and we can see really far ahead. I mean, the course is, of course, the people are fully strung out. This is not a good place to be mid-crit. This is what getting dropped looks like. Luckily, I've been training on my heat endurance and intervals and fitness, and so far this race has been pretty mellow. So I'm coming up on my teammate Zach here, and as we come out of this corner, I'm going to ask him if there's free laps left or something. We chat a little bit, but at this point, I'm like, you know what? We're going to send it. We're going to send it. We're going to YOLO and catch back on the right way. I also didn't want to get a full lap of chill out again. I felt like I'd been chilling so much in the back of the race that my legs really weren't turned on yet, and I was starting to feel them turned on. In previous videos, I said after about 10 minutes is when I start to really feel my legs and kind of decide if I'm going to have a big day or just a regular day. And so today my legs felt really good, and so I'm just going to start catching drafts. So we're going to start catching these people. They're almost at the hairpin already. I was probably a solid 20 seconds back off the front, because I was already at the back of the peloton before that crash, and plus the stoppage time. So we're looking at 20 plus seconds I have to catch back on to catch this group. So let's send it and try to catch back on. All right, so we're looking at big heart rate numbers. We're doing big power numbers, guys, and I know I've just about caught back on. I'm a few bike lengths off the field. All the people that were following me are coming around me to catch back on. I'm just trying to catch my breath and get into the right gear for this hairpin. Take this hairpin, give myself a sprinter's gap, go through it really smooth, and come out the other side not needing to do a giant interval. As you can see, I brought, 4 or 5 guys with me on the back of my tire. I didn't really mind. It was a really awkward crash, and I realized that I'm not too worried about these guys following me. And so you can see I have even more guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 behind me that were following me for my bridge attempts. Took from here 1 full lap, so 2 full laps of big power to catch back on. I'm pretty proud of it. At this point, I realized that my training in the heat was absolutely worth it. And I know everyone saw Jeff on NorCal's video about heat training, and I copied it and got gross and sweaty, and then also did outside training. So something to keep in mind. And now the race is kind of boring for a little while, and we'll skip ahead. All right, gents, this is when it starts to get good. We're coming into 2 laps to go. This is the last corner. People again ask how I slid up the field so much. On that back stretch, you drop 300-400 watts when the field slows up a little bit, and slide up the inside and take the corner fast. So 2 laps to go. I knew this was kind of when the race was going to get fast. Overall, it was pretty chill, and if you guys didn't burn your watts early in the race, the first 10 minutes trying to blow up the field, well, then you would have been pretty fine here. So I'm trying to get back in this draft. We're doing 30 miles an hour. He looks further away than I actually am. This is just some of the fishbowl effect off the Insta camera. You can see he looks kind of far away from the guy in front of him too, and he's really not. So I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. 2 laps to go. We got tons of space. I don't want to get too close to these guys, but I realize they're all slowing down because they don't want to be on the front. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys I just passed with doing 0 watts. And so I like the guy. He does a nice corner here. Nice and smooth, and we come out the other side. 980 watt bomb, not too bad. This is 1.5 laps to go now, and I know that someone's going to send a flyer, and there goes the guy on the left. We're kind of looking at him, the white shirt. I think he did a flyer somewhere else. Can't remember where. But nice smooth effort, nice and slow off the front. No one wanted to chase him and do the watts. However, if someone was on him, the field would probably have grabbed him back quicker. But he went solo, and so I had no incentive to chase him. But we're doing just above threshold. We're only about 300 watts. All right, yellow shirt. Can rely on him for a 2-lap send that he's going to blow up and not make the finish. So I hop on his wheel. I don't know why he thinks he needs to chase. There were a few guys with some teammates. No big teams in the Cat 4 this year. I had a few teammates at this race, but I hadn't seen them in a long time, so I didn't think they were in there. The pink CX guys, I know they had 1 or 2 teammates, and they worked together pretty well for a two-man team. I think there might have been some Triple X guys, but really no teamwork. So, you know, this guy, he decided that he's going to take it upon himself and bring back this solo rider. I wasn't worried about it. I was going to let the guy go, and if he won, good on him. But I was feeling really confident. My heart rate's at 168, guys. 1 lap to go. That is middle of zone 3, a little bit high zone 3. We're prime time right now. I'm getting a draft. I'm doing 200 watts. Heart rate's at 169, 230, and we're doing 24 miles an hour. Not too bad. So the guy up front's getting a little bit of distance, but not too bad. And watch this. This dude's like, oh crap, I've blown up. Call life alert. And look at this wave through. This is pure anger, frustration, and tiredness. And I'm like, all right, I'll move to the front. I'll do 350, 360 just to pick up the pace a little bit so the guy doesn't get like 30 seconds on us. I'm looking back because I know someone's going to come up, and who's the victim? Buddy on Evolution. He has decided that he's the one that's going to pull this back, and well, I can't say no to a free draft, so I do a little bit of watts to catch up. Only 400, nothing. My heart rate's down from just the straightaway. I'm at 166, guys. Full on zone 3. Nice and smooth, 21, 20 around the hairpin. Come out the other side. We're cruising, and so I think here I'm looking left just to see what the field's doing, because I know I'm not worried about the speed. And then I hop back in the draft. Not even 500 watts on that little dig, so nothing crazy. Heart rate's still well in check, 167, guys. This is the last lap to go, and this is the chillest last lap I think I've ever seen. This is the point, the second day of the field being tired. Monday the field felt tired. Today the field felt smoked, and especially after the front guys really burned themselves up in the first 10 minutes. But here we go. This is why I love the Insta 360. You can kind of see everything that's happening around me. So this guy in the pink is following me, doing a good effort. We're following S Evolution right here. 300 watts. Heart rate still hasn't even hit 170. That's insane. Like, my heart rate max is at 195, so I still have a lot of firepower here. But I'm looking around trying to figure out what's going to happen, what's going down. And did I call it early? Was that 3 laps ago, not 2 laps ago? That might be the case. Well, that's okay. I think this is a good example of how to do this. So this is clearly, we're going into the last lap, so my mistake. Everything was 3 laps and then 2 laps. We're going into 1 lap to go now. It's hard to see that little red screen. But guys, my heart rate's going down still. I don't know how many times I can say that before you're sick of it. Also, there's no slope here. Ignore that. I just use the same format. I'm just waiting for guys to come around me because I don't want to lead it out. So KCX, we have Phil here. He's the one that's been winning a bunch. Him and the Canadian kid and a few others. Or I guess one other really hasn't been the many winners. So I get in their draft. He looks back at me because he knows I'll have the watts for this final sprint. We're going kind of fast now, 28. You can see the white guy just up ahead. Yellow shirt's back. Good on him. Got a nice recovery and rest. But I'm liking where I'm at. I'm liking a lot where I'm at. We're towards the front. Remember, the wind's out of the front left here, so I'm actually getting a little bit of a chevron draft. Follow this nice white and gray Madone. So I'm getting a solid draft right here. Really liking this. I mean, we're basically coasting. I mean, you saw the watts are at, what, 250? 120, 0 coasting. Here, this guy goes for a little bit of ascend. Let him up the inside, sure. Phil, really nice bike handler. Look at that. Nice inside. And I'm like, dude, perfect. Thanks for lining this up, boys. I got a 3-person lead out. We have a lap to go. Do a 1,000-watt dig to get out of the corner. So my heart rate now is coming up. We're at 180. So we're still not in any kind of pain. This is fine. And I'm like, all right, I'll follow these guys out. We're doing 31. And so this is good because no one's going to come around me at this point. And I'm looking back, and I realize this is it. This is it. I'm getting an insane draft right now. Remember, the wind's sort of out of behind to the right, so this is actually a good spot, getting a nice draft. Plus, I'm keeping myself not boxed in. Here's where I make my one big mistake. I should have fucking sent it up the far left side, doing like 35 to that corner. Instead, I do a nice slow burn just to not pop myself then and there. We've passed the guy that was off the front. He blew up on this back straight because he tried to go for 3 laps instead of like 1.5. Rail this corner, doing, let's see, 26, 25, not too bad. Do a big sprint here. Should be in the drops, so 1,100 watt in between, 31 miles an hour. Don't really break much into this, not too bad. And this is where I pop back into my drops again and do a big thing. And, you know, look on the right here. Phil tries to cut my inside. I should have cut him off here. I sat back down because I realized I didn't want to kill the kid. The judge after the race came up to me and thanked me, but unfortunately the Canadian guy, because we both spooked ourselves, he came around us and won. And I could have won that if I sat in it, but I also didn't want to cut off Phil and take him out. So 3rd place, bronze, I'm very happy. Not too bad. Guys, thanks for watching. That was Brookfield 2025. Please like and subscribe and go race your bike.